Joined by Jordan Wright. LFA 80 is upon us. It's been a while since we talked to you, sir. How you doing?
I'm great. How are y'all doing?
I'm doing well. Got the fight coming up. What's going on with Jordan, though? Like we said, it's been a while. Where are you at right now? What's up with Jordan Wright?
It's been great, honestly. Training's been amazing. I'm at a new camp now. I'm training over at Dynamics MMA with Sensei Anthony Hardonk for kickboxing, Coach Vladimir Matyushenko for wrestling. Over at Morumbi Jiu-Jitsu, I'm training with Professor Fabio Leopoldo. So I'm training with a lot of coaches who have fought. You know, Anthony Hardonk is a K1 and UFC heavyweight legend. Vladimir, former IFL champ, UFC contender, Belarusian and Soviet wrestling champ. And Fabio is a world champion in Jiu-Jitsu, former IFL fighter. And Raymond Diaz is a coach of mine for strength and conditioning, who has also fought. So pretty much every single one of the coaches who I'm training with now have fought, which is really awesome. And I'm doing the latter half of my camp over here at Jackson's Acoma, and under Nick Urso. And Nick's amazing. He does a lot of the same stuff that I'm doing over with everyone else back in Cali. So I feel amazing. I feel like I've really grown as a martial artist since my last fight, and things couldn't be better.
Looking ahead of us, Gabriel Checco is going to be the opponent. A brawling style, an aggressive fighter. What do you think of the matchup?
I think Checco's really good. I think he's a good opponent. Like, the dude's got a sick jiu-jitsu game. He's got a lot of experience. Strong dude. But aside from that, like, he's a really good dude, a veteran. So I look forward to testing my skills against him. He's a specialist at what he does, and I'm really looking forward to it. He's really good, so I look forward to testing my skills against him.
Now we're going to see you for the first time in a while. As you said, new coaches. How much different of in-cage Jordan do we expect?
I am not one to take a lot of time away from the gym. So as much as I've taken time away from, a competition, I've been fighting since I was 16 years old, and I've been doing martial arts ever since I was 9 years old. So I feel like I've been in a training camp ever since I was a kid. So the whole taking time away, how are you going to feel? It's just, I feel like maybe it affects other people differently, but it's never really affected me just because I'm always training. I'm always doing martial arts. Like, this is all I really know. And so coming back, I feel like you're just going to see a better me, more mature young man, great martial artist, and got a whole bunch of new skills.
Moving to different coaches, to different gyms, is it almost invigorating because it is different? You're learning different new stuff. Is that almost an exciting challenge of itself?
That's absolutely what I love about this game, is learning new things. Like, as a young martial artist, I think a lot of people in this sport get too into strength and conditioning and sparring and hitting pads. And like my coach, Sensei Hardonk, is always saying, like, oh, hitting pads, sparring, strength and conditioning, all that stuff is overrated. In the Netherlands, you have guys who've kickboxed their entire lives, and they're just like the age-old saying, drillers are killers. You drill, you drill, you drill, you drill, you drill. And I feel like that's something that I love about the gyms that I'm training at now. Under Sensei Hardonk, we're drilling all the time with the kickboxing. With Coach Vlad, we're drilling all the time with the wrestling. With Professor Fabio, all we're doing is drilling jiu-jitsu over and over and over. And I feel like the more I got into my professional career, the more we were just focusing so much on hitting the pads and the sparring and the conditioning and all of these things. And a lot of these things are, like Sensei says, they're very overrated in the grand scheme of things. Drilling is what wins, and the repetitions is what makes champions.
Said you've been in camp for so long, had so many fights, but again you had this vacation from competition. Are you surprised at how you're feeling? Are you feeling differently than you would ahead of a fight since you've been gone?
I definitely feel like I'm more mature. I feel like I'm approaching this more like an adult rather than just like a young kid looking for Instagram clout. I'm not trying to be famous. Like, I don't even have social media anymore. I think probably going to be inevitable. I might get it back again someday, but I just feel a lot healthier. I don't like the whole fake it till you make it kind of thing. I didn't want to promote to the world that skill wise, I definitely do feel like I have the skills to be the greatest. And that's the goal. But I don't want to sell this image that I am this UFC celebrity when I'm not. I think a lot of social media are for people that want to follow people who they admire, and for people who are the admired, like the MMA celebrities, the influencers, the actors, this and that. It's for a way for people to keep in touch with their fans. But when you're in that middle ground where it's like, yes, I am a professional athlete, but at the same time, I'm not famous. I don't want to sell this image that I am this famous person and have to keep up with my quote unquote fan base that is more or less just people that know me, some people that have seen me fight, my friends, my family, and of course the many people that have seen me fight in, the shows that I fought on. But ultimately, I want to focus on myself and keep growing as a martial artist and not get swept away in, again, the clout of it all.
Well, almost had that into something we were talking about earlier. Not only the clout of it all, but we were looking at Tapology, looking at records, and we've seen there's promotions that do and don't report. So, does that keep you, in the mindset of a martial artist where you're focusing on a fight? Because a lot of people look at those facts, look at those numbers, and make assumptions about how something looks. Oh, you fought tough for competition, when really you're in that martial arts mode, ready for anything.
Okay, so yeah, I definitely know what you're getting at. Because a lot of the times, yes, I know, I really don't pay attention to a lot of the forums and what people have to say, because literally you could knock out, no disrespect to Jose Aldo, Jose's the man, but you could knock out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds and people are still going to talk crap about you. For me, I know, people talk about my history and my record and this and that, and for a lot of the time, it's like, you fight in the Southwest, you're not going to get a lot of fights, especially coming out of Jackson's. So when I fought in California for a lot of those lower shows, you'll see, I could name names, but that's, I'm here to talk about me. You'll see a lot of people who fought in the UFC who came up fighting in those Gladiator Challenge and Native Reservation shows because it keeps you active. I just wanted to be active. But by the time I started fighting for Alaska Fighting Championships, I was told the guy who I had fought's record was different. I was 6-0 at the time. I was told he was 4-2 because there are other shows in Alaska that don't report. So I don't really know anything much about that. Maybe I've been deceived. I'm not exactly sure. But I know my skills. I've been fighting for a long time. I've been training for a long time. You could, like I said, win the UFC title in 13 seconds and people are still going to talk crap about you. I just want to focus on my life, and I hope people can find positivity in their lives. And you don't bother me, I'm not going to bother you.
You talked about focusing on oneself. Well, what has made you the most happy about your progression and what you've been doing here recently?
So, I love that I've sort of found myself again, and I found I found a part of myself that I had lost throughout my martial arts journey. When I was a little kid, I would just be go to school, come home, ride my bike to the dojo, and do martial arts. And it wasn't because I was forced to, it was because I wanted to do martial arts. I would go to school in Malibu and then go to the Dan Inosanto Academy in Marina del Rey, California. And for anyone who knows that drive, it sucks. I would take 2 to 3 buses. I would get on the school bus or just get on the city bus, go to another bus in Santa Monica, all the way down to Marina del Rey just to train, and then get back home and maybe have still some homework to do or just dick around on my computer. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Mess around on my computer and watch anime and stuff. And I just it would be super late by the time I got back, but it wasn't just I have to train because my parents want me to. It's no, if I don't train today, I'm going to feel like crap. I really want to I have to do this martial arts. I feel like this is what I was put here to do. And living in Albuquerque for so long and having so many coaches, want to see you do well and having training so readily available, I felt like I was kind of losing a little bit of the, eager to go to the gym fire because the gym was always there. I didn't have to work to go to the gym as much. So in this time, I've really, had days where it's I've trained a lot. I could just, watch TV all day. But I'm I don't really want to. Training is my watching TV all day. That's what gets me going. That's what gets me out of bed. It's not a drag to go to training anymore. It's what gives me purpose in life. So again, I'm so happy that I found myself with these coaches because Hardonk and Fabio and Vlad, they've really reestablished my love not just for this sport, for martial arts and the life of just living it. If that makes sense.
You're now back home. You're established back in California. That is base camp. How does it strike you returning to LFA and returning to Albuquerque for this fight? What are the thoughts, the emotions that hit you in both of the returns?
It feels like I've never left. Like Albuquerque is still home for me. I lived here for almost 8 years. I moved here almost 10 years ago. And it's great living and chilling with Lando Venata for this camp. You know, training with Nick, living with Lando. It's great, man. I love the people who I'm around. As far as the return, it's good, man. Like I said, it doesn't really feel like much time has passed. I'm ready. I'm ready.
And then looking at Gabriel Checco, a last thought on your opponent. See a lot of opportunities there with your style against his?
I do. I definitely do. I have a few things that I've been working on, and I'm very confident in my abilities, and like I said, I'm really looking forward to testing myself against a worthy opponent.
Jordan Wright, as always, sir, thank you for the time.
Thank you.